the details get a little bit complicated, but the thing to understand is that government policies create huge incentives to cheat on your import bill. Now, if you will just take some of the money that the government approves for imports and you'll divert it to the black market, you can really become a millionaire many times over overnight. And the key thing that you need to make that scam work is government connections. Now, who has the government connections? It's government-connected businessmen and government-connected military men. Now, so you want to know why the army is using so much violence, is so willing to use violence to repress these protests? Because they're protecting their profits.
You might think that the government saying we're going to increase police presence to ensure the safety of citizens might be a good move. But for those who would be critical of the government, they would say that this is simply a greater move towards a power grab and an irreversible course towards a more sort of totalitarian state. Yes?
Well, actually, I've seen a lot of protest placards that have reproduced a newspaper cartoon that shows a bunch of students thrown in jail surrounded by cops while common criminals go around being protected by the cops. I think that's a very common theme of frustration in the protest movement also, is that the government always says, well, you know, this huge crime wave that has made Venezuela one of the most violent places on earth, let's have it for control. There are deep social causes. There are root causes. It's going to take a generation. They kind of spin it out as this problem that nobody can do anything about. But what people see is that there are all the cops on the street, that there is a substantial police presence, but the cops are not running after the criminals. They're running after the students who are protesting for their rights.
Mm-hmm. And Freddie Gomez, I'm sure you've seen some of that firsthand. And I'm sure that it has to be a little bit frustrating that maybe the world's attention hasn't turned to Venezuela as much as maybe some of the protesters might hope.
Yeah, especially whenever you go to the streets and you're looking for a different look around. Like if you go as a demonstrator, you go looking for straight change, and then you see these people who supposed to protect us shooting at us or going straight against us, or just tear gas, especially whenever it's shoot straight to there. It's you can kind of handle that, but whenever those cans are shoot straight to your body, it's not fair. So it's in any case it's straight violence against the people who is looking for a change in the regular life that Venezuelans have, and it's not okay for us.
How difficult is it to cover this? Has the government turned on journalists more and more?
Well, yeah. Actually, here in San Cristobal and near towns, the media, it's or reporters or press, usually they get stolen cameras and stuff from the colectivos, the paramilitaries. So media, it's everyday censor. It's more closed eye from the government's perspective, so the world and other cities can see or watch what's happening in here.